Why does Barba Azul Nature Reserve have cattle? 1. Intelligent cattle ranching is creating diverse habitat for threatened wildlife. 2. We can become a model ranch where we show other ranchers best practices ranching and stopping bad practices ranching, like annual burning of grassland. And 3. The income generated out of cattle ranching is supporting the protection of Barba Azul Nature Reserve. I'm Cholo Boersma, Conservation Program Director for Asociación Armonía, and we're standing here in the 27,000-acre Barba Azul Nature Reserve. Here we're protecting habitat for the critically endangered and endemic blue-throated macaw. This habitat is being used by other threatened species. Threatened savanna birds, but also long-distance migratory birds like the buff-breasted sandpiper. Cattle ranching in tall grass savanna in this river-edge shortgrass habitat is actually a productive system compatible to the ecosystem. So don't confuse this with the cattle ranching in the Amazon, where forest is being logged and grasses are being planted for cows to feed on. Cattle can actually fulfill an ecological role in this ecosystem. Only 10,000 years ago, megafauna was roaming these grasslands. You should really think of camels, horses, elephants, big herbivores feeding on these grasses. Now livestock can actually fulfill that ecological role. For example, the river edge shortgrass habitat. Without grazing, it becomes too tall and it's not being used by buff-breasted sandpipers. And actually, livestock is maintaining the certain length that is favorable for these long-distance migratory species to forage and to continue their migration further south. Cattle can actually play an ecological role in creating that heterogeneity in the grassland ecosystem. So you have certain species that need the tall grass savannas from which they perch and feed on insects, while others need short grass to search for seeds from different types of grasses.
Mi nombre es Edson Lopez.
My name is Edson Lopez. I am the ranching coordinator for Barba Azul Nature Reserve. We are raising the Brahma cattle breed, which is adapted to strong dry seasons and seasonal flooding. We want to demonstrate to neighboring ranchers a model that is not just theory, but demonstrates practically how it can work. We want to show that a sustainable ranching system can work, where you do not need to yearly burn pastures, that ranching can be compatible with wildlife and offer natural grasses without the need to introduce exotic grass species.
Barba Azul Nature Reserve aims to reach economic sustainability through multiple income sources. One is ecotourism in an area totally restricted to conservation and tourism, and through sustainable cattle ranching, which is in a separate section within the Barba Azul Nature Reserve. Through the profits from cattle sales, we're actually protecting the conservation section of Barba Azul Nature Reserve. The funding to purchase land to create a reserve for critically endangered and endemic species is fairly easy. The difficult part is protecting it for the long run. There you have to think of long-term sustainability, and therefore cattle ranching, which is compatible to this ecosystem, is a form to create and generate that sustainability for Barba Azul Nature Reserve. In order to reach that level of economic sustainability, we would still have to modernize our ranch, and we still have to buy more livestock. So if you're willing to help us out and buy a cow for conservation, please press on this link or the link in the description. Thank you very much.